answer that. Now, you could zig when they zag.
Yeah, that's like a Vrabel. I almost
I don't think
Vrabel's
like that either. Yeah.
All right, well, it's time now for a segment so hot, my grandmother uses it as nitrous in her car. It's upset alert. Quick update on the standings. Woof. Brew, solidly in second place. Me and Danny Parkins, who I should have never brought onto this show. I took an L.
But this does mean, though, Brew, because you get 3 points for getting one right. Yep. You're 3.5 back. So if you get yours right and they don't, you leap ahead of them. Wilde's down by a smooth 14. So he needs a big one.
Yeah. He ain't go big enough, though.
Well, we'll see.
I'm just trying to get W's.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm kind of like the Denver Broncos. Coach and I are kind of like the Broncos. We waited to the end of the year
to lock it up.
That one win that we need. That's all we need. And so with that being said, I'm going with the Vikings over the Lions. Wow. Yes. I like this game, obviously for a lot of reasons. So many things on the line, nothing more than the 1 seed. But when you look at these two teams, we know what they are. Offensively, they're both juggernauts. You look at the Lions, you look at the Vikings, they can score a bunch of points. What we look at and what we're going to have to focus on is who can stop these teams. And when you look at this defense comparison, the Lions, we know what they haven't been able to do. They haven't been able to stop anyone from scoring. The Vikings have taken a dip in their points allowed per game. Takeaways is what I want you to pay attention to, because this Vikings team take the ball away. And anytime you have a great offense, if you can get them added possessions, you have a chance. And then when you look at these, the Detroit Lions, we know all the names that they have that are out. This is just so much. I know, Wild, you've said it all week long. They've been able to overcome all these things. Against this team, the first time they played, Hutch was out. They had a lot of these guys in that first matchup. And so I just think with this offense is going to be a lot. And then you look at the quarterback play. They both got really good quarterback play. One guy, we talk about his play versus pressure, but he's second behind only this guy. Wow. Who, if you pressure him, which you have to try to pressure him, because you have to get him off his set and outside the pocket and do different things and bring different blitzes, because you can't just rush 4 because your pass rush has been labored because of the injury. So when I look at this team, obviously Justin Jefferson, he's been outside of his mind every time he plays this team, averaging 182 yards at Ford Field in his 4 games there. He continues
How many
to do
yards?
182.5 yards per game.
Who's got Justin Jefferson?
In the 4 games that he's played.
Switch up.
Wow.
Switch up. I got him this time.
So, yeah, I mean, and again, the Lions like to go man-to-man. Anybody taking Justin
Somebody's
Jefferson?
got to.
Somebody has to.
Some 2 guys
but
have to.
It seemingly doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know what? I give him a big.
What would you do?
Big cushion.
Okay. I bet they've tried it.
Yeah, they've tried everything.
182 yards, too much. All right, there we go.
It's not
Brew?
bad. Has this been a painful season for the Bengals? Would we all agree on that?
Yeah.
A season full of pain. Well, guess what? Pittsburgh is going to leave the Bengals still hurting. Still hurting. Pitt
Like
leaves
steel
since he's
curtain.
still hurting.
We get it.
You remember the steel curtain?
I think you could have written steel in there.
Nah, that wouldn't have still hurting. The Bengals are hurting now. They've been hurting all season.
Hurting.
When they leave Pittsburgh, they'll still be hurting.
I don't know when this became a pun segment.
I'm just saying. It was just
Still hurting.
Anyway, I got Pittsburgh beating the Bengals, all right? And look, the last time, that defense is just going to hurt them. Last time they played, Pittsburgh put up 44 points. Russell Wilson threw for 414 yards. Ooh. All right, and we know George Pickens is back. They're healthy. Jalen Warren, Najee Harris, they're all back. I think they're going to be able to put up points. And I think Nick will agree with this. Cincinnati's not playing all that well.
No.
Right? They've won their last 3 games, but Dallas, Tennessee, and Cleveland. A bunch of
scrappy teams.
Yeah, and then
tomato cans. Tomato cans. All right, they beat a bunch of tomato cans. They're 1-7 against. They won their last 4, I think. They're 1-7 against teams with winning records. The team they beat was Denver with a rookie quarterback last week. So, Yeah, I think Pittsburgh is going to leave them still hurting and beat
Still
them.
hurting.
Yeah. I can't believe you act like that.
No, it's a good reference. It's 45 years old, but they're in the zeitgeist. It's time now for the Puxatawny Phil of football to make his last regular season upset alert. Okay? It's been a rough year for the Puxatawny Phil. Was predicting wins, got 12 more weeks of winter. Yesterday, I said, think about the Lions as the Chiefs. I'm continuing with that motif. Chiefs straight up over the Broncos. Wow. 10.5-point underdogs. Lions had nothing to play for the other day. They said, we're going to play. The Lions roster is depleted, as you've noted. The Chiefs roster is depleted by choice, resting guys. But instead of the narrative is they're not going to try, Dan Campbell's narrative was guys are going to get a great opportunity to show what they got. Carson Wentz wants to play. The other guys want to play. I think Andy Reid wants the, here's the bell, is still going to coach. I think Spags is still going to coach. Chiefs backups without Mahomes. 2-2. Not amazing, but we know that the Chiefs like to practice. Like Carson Wentz has some of that Mahomes magic rub off on him. And then, Brew, you said something incorrect earlier in the show, and I just saved it. I put it in my back pocket. I said, not now, Wildes. Wait till upset alert. I said the Broncos defense, still great.
Yeah, top 5.
Are they? Last 4 games, they've given up 435 yards, total yards, and passing yards 320. It's the worst in the NFL in that span. Last 4 games. Not a one-game sample time, not just the Joe Burrow effect. It's the last 4 games. So I think Carson Wentz gets in there and says, ooh.
Yeah, why is the bar? There's been certainly not, can we just keep rolling these?
Certainly not
making the playoffs for Carson Steele. There was a Carson Steele one.
I had a Carson
Steele. It said there goes Bo.
There goes Bo's playoff chances.
Yeah, Rocky.
Because I don't like puns.
So why did you have 4 of them?
And I was mocking the staff.
Okay.
And then Dusty loves puns. Hugs loves puns. The whole team loves puns.
So hold on, before we get to what will be I really can't believe it, such a special edition of Nick's Picks, and you'll see why in a moment. People mocked us and laughed for us putting up early in the year, every time we did this segment, the official upset alert rules. But I knew there was a reason we did it.
I'd like to see
why. So here's why. Because Wildes is down by 14 points, a 10.5-point dog, plus the 3-point bonus wouldn't be enough. Can we zoom in on that middle?
Wait, what?
The middle. Any successful upset pick of greater than 10 points receives an additional 2-point bonus. So if you get it, it's a 15.5-pointer, you'll win. That's been sitting there in plain sight all year.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like Belichick reading the rules.
It's been sitting there in plain sight all year.
You guys,
no one's gotten a 10-pointer yet.
I don't know.
Check the records.
I would beat Greg?
You would beat Greg.
Fishy.
You would beat
I smell
Greg.
something fishy.
Yep, it's definitely a lot
It's
of
been there.
You know I have the
not-
bylaws memorized.
That's not. I'm just telling you guys. It's Brew. You'll win if you get yours. Wildes will win if he gets his. Greg,
and we will win if we get up.
And you'll win if you get yours.
Win and you're in.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
I
You understand?
So you threw that little thing
No,
in
that
there,
was already.
so
That was already
Wildes
in
will
there.
have a chance.
No, that was.
Okay,
I didn't throw anything in there.
I'm all for it.
But
I'm
I
all
gotta
for it.
tell you,
Team
I
chemistry.
think all 3 of you might get yours. Again, let's just get to Nick's picks because I can't believe this has happened.
Are they the same?
We'll show you in
Are
a
they
moment.
all the same?
Nick's picks again. A half game behind Danny Parkins after a 7th straight winning weekend. Last weekend, the only one we lost was in overtime. Denver getting 3.5. That was a tough one. Bills easy. Vikings easy. First pick of the week. Pittsburgh plus 2.5 this weekend. Since he tried to blow the Denver game, also in these games, you know what I care about? Chris Boswell versus Cade York, who looked like a terrified human being the last time I saw him. Tomlin, home, divisional dog. I will take it. The public and goofy Danny Parkins love Cincy. And by the way, extra rest for Pittsburgh. They played Christmas Day. Think about how long ago that was. Christmas Day. They've been off since then. They're angry. Pittsburgh plus 2.5. Next, Kansas City.
Love it.
Plus 10.5.
Wow.
Wildes laid it all out. I'm going to add to it. Andy Reid The last 5 times he's been a dog of 10-plus points. 5-0 against the spread. Now, you got to go back 17 years for that one because Andy Reid teams usually aren't double-digit dogs, but still, they've covered all 5 times. Also, little-known fact about the Kansas City Chiefs. They usually win football games.
Yeah.
They don't, you know what I mean? They don't like to lose football games.
Win.
And KC also on not only a ton of rest since Christmas, but a lot of the guys have been playing that are going to be playing been resting all year. That's right. It's going to be the freshest team in the league. And last but not least,
bring the rugby player back.
Yeah, Minnesota plus 2.5. Wow. I swear to God, this was not planned. Right. This is just how it happened.
Wow.
So everything Greg said, I'll say it again. Worst defense in the NFL. Minnesota wins outright. And again, in the rest theme, Vikings, normal rest. Lions, short rest. I think they win 35-34. So my 3 picks, again, when Pittsburgh plus 2.5, Kansas City minus 10 or plus 10.5, Minnesota plus 2.5, and just for the update of me versus Perkins, if I may quickly, what we're fading this weekend. So we are on the opposite side of Pittsburgh Cincy. Danny, because he's a scurrilous line shopper, somehow instead of laying 2.5 is laying just 1.5. So there's a scenario where Cincy wins by 2 and we both win this week. That would be terrible. I have Kansas City and Minnesota. He has the Chargers and he has Tampa Bay. If I beat him by 1 game, I win. If we tie or he beats me, he wins.
Tampa Bay
laying 14. So that's
coming within 14.
And he was already whining that he tried to do 13.5, but it was 14 again. The pre-excuses. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.